Welcome back to the Rally Cry Halftime Show. I'm Mazel. I'm joined by Deathstrikes and Joshi, and we are getting ourselves to a wonderful fifth game in this promo game. Wouldn't it be nice to have had Silver Scrapes? And guess what? It delivered, because the winner of this next game, the last game of our series, goes on to the NACL. And what a way to do it, too. I guess the scrappiness of that last game, especially from Team Fish Taco, was intense, Joshi.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of big team fighting coming through and exploitations coming through from Team Fish Taco to use the fact that Team Tony Top were not setting up a lot of their very strong choke control points. I feel like they got burned really hard when Sudsy got jumped over the wall by Dardak, that they weren't willing to take control of that choke point this time around, and it ended up giving them, even though they got the Hextech Dragon Soul, didn't matter when they got wiped.
Did not matter. And it was interesting also the way that Tony Top was trying so hard to find that side lane, and then in the end it's Alorm who actually wins down the 1v1. I love it. That little picture, that's what I was looking at the whole time. Even Red popping off. I see you too. But it was incredible stuff from Team Fish Taco. They were at a consistent 4k gold deficit like the entire game. So we'll see what happens in game number 5. Everything's left on the table, but for now we're gonna have our halftime segment, and I've gotten a little bit of art collection here for you, because we're going to do Art is Challenging. This is one where I have drawn 4 pictures of varying degrees of skill level of art.
Very high quality.
Very high quality, of course, only the best. They are representative of some things that happened in the game, strong themes, or little things that I thought were cool. So you're at my discrepancy at this point. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my first one. You guys are going to have to tell me why I drew this, what it is, and what it means. Here we go. The first one it is. Look how beautiful. Look at the architecture on the ice. You know, like, what could
Looks
it
like
possibly
a toaster.
be? A toaster?
Ice.
A stinky
I was going to
toaster.
go a different route, yeah.
Okay, what are you going with, Desiree?
Okay, you know what? I know what it is now. It's the Pillar of Filth. It's the Trundle Pillar.
Look at that. Easy peasy. It's because of the level of art. It's because of the absolute detail.
I'm going to be honest.
Grapes,
It's because
grapes.
you said ice.
Grapes, did you take this and could you Photoshop 2 pieces of bread in that for me?
I thought I did it all cool with like the outline of the blue and like the darker pieces of ice, about the icy, vapors coming off of it with the circle on the ground. Like, no, all right, you guys
if
just
you didn't say ice,
put me down in a hole.
Inhibitor. That's what I was originally.
That's like the old inhibitor. All right, well, whatever. It's the Trundle Pillar of Filth because Alorm is a beast. So, whatever. My art explains itself. Woo. We're gonna move on to the next one. I hope you guys can get this one at least. It's a bad depiction of it. There's not as much detail as the real one, but I think you get the gist.
I'm trying to come up with something witty here. I can't.
Come on, failing. Oh well.
I mean, it's just like, it looks like a bullet bill, but like that's basically what the Super Mega Death Rocket is.
It literally is. It's just a little bit of nostalgia there. It is the Mega Death Rocket.
It's a Mario movie.
It is. It is a little bit of a throwback and throw out, as a lot of the Mega Death Rockets were interesting to say the least, had a lot of impact and damage, but also just the fact that there is always that global pressure being put down, which I thought was probably going to be a big factor until they started losing those scrappy fights. And Tony Top couldn't finish in the side lane. So now we'll move on to our third one. In this one, I feel like is the culmination of beautiful art, minimalistic design, and incredible fortitude.
Oh. Okay, I know what it is.
There's a saying that goes along with this one too. It's multimedia.
Multimedia.
What is the saying, Deathstrikes? I know as a play-by-play. I know you know it.
When you see the Aphelios, you say red, white, don't fight.
Look at that! He knows it.
Yeah, hold on.
Every good play-by-play has heard those stories since they were a child.
I got a response from Grapes. Said,
okay.
Sorry, I had the stream on in the background. You saying my name felt like I was dreaming and the characters are telling me to wake up.
Oh my god.
So,
wake up, Grapes.
You gotta go back. You gotta go back.
Grapes.
You gotta find
Grapes.
the Pillar of Ice, and you gotta Photoshop 2 pieces of bread in it so that it looks like a toaster.
Grapes, you gotta wake up, man.
Wake up, Grapes.
Wake up, Grapes.
Yeah.
Grapes, wake
Gotta
up.
wake
No,
up.
it's red, white, because red decided to fight. And I thought it was really intense, the last fight that went down. He was racking up kills later on in the game as well. And a big piece to why they actually turned out a lot of those big fights down towards the objectives, while Alorm was kind of just dealing with Toady Top. Now, our last one It's the most artistic, I feel, of all of them. I threw this off of like a tiny little PNG in the corner of my screen because they deserve to have their name shown. Not their name, their mascot, but also their name. Because Team Fish Taco have pushed us all the way to a dang game number 5 in our best of 5s in the top bracket to lock in NACL. Like, the story literally writes itself. And how cute is the little guy in there? It's a nice representation. Please don't file any proceedings against me, Team Fish Taco. I'm sorry.
It looks like escargot.
It is a little bit of escargot. Just a little bit.
I don't know. This looks like a rise falling into. There's different places this can go, and I'm just going to avoid them now because you don't have the pin, and that's the only bummer.
Well, we're going to go back to my masterpiece. This was the one I was most proud about.
The toaster.
And, give Grapes a chance. Grapes, wake up. And I think
Grapes says, in no world is that a toaster. No, okay, you see?
Yes, exactly.
You see?
The beautiful art shows itself. All
it's
right?
a toaster on its side, and you have the 2 slots up here on the top, and you need to put bread in them.
Oh, my God. I'm taking it away from you. That was art is challenging because it truly is challenging. And while our challengers are challenging the LCS, I always like to challenge myself as well. Please don't judge my art. Anyways, we're going to move forward to talking about this series as a whole because I think we need to try to hone in on the biggest strengths for both sides coming into our 5th game because this is no holds bar. This is a win and you're in. Lose and you're into the lower bracket. You still have a chance, but it is important to try to get a little bit of pride here, and especially with the way the series has gone, Joshi.
Yeah, one of these 2 teams is going to be our new Challengers League team, and it is going to be, I think it's fascinating that it's these 2 teams that we're talking about, right? We kind of all expected that Maryville was going to have an opportunity to play, but we weren't expecting it to be coming from these 2 teams right away to actually find their way to the Challengers League, and now both these teams are a single game away from actually finding their way through.
And what is it with games going the full distance when we got to the best of 5s? So we had the same thing yesterday with AoE and Maryville. AoE able to stop the reverse sweep in time, but now we just got a slugfest between Team Fish Taco and Team Tony Top. I always have to think about where that team really does lie.
All the T's.
Yeah, all the T's there.
All the T's. And I think some of the key factors we've seen already coming into this, we were looking if Tony Top can climb the mountain that is Alorum. We saw the Fiora actually pay dividends in both games, right? But the thing is, last game they found a way to deal with it. And it didn't look good for a majority of the game, but all it needed to do was work once. And it did. And so I think when you're looking at how to approach the composition, especially for Tony Top, where they will be trying to figure out what went wrong exactly, you have to find those strengths still through top lane and be able to play through the rest of the map as well, Joshi.
Yeah, we'll see. My big thing as I kind of look for it is, one, Team Fish Taco, when Dardog is being proactive, when he can find some of these good early plays, that's how they found a lot of their success. He needs to be the one to set the pace around the bottom lane, whereas on the other side of the map, Team Tony Top, the easiest thing that they can do is just make sure that they are controlling the choke points. They are allowing Team Fish Taco to get into the river way too easily. The one time that Snow just completely bopped them when they came over the wall was one of the best setups I've seen in quite a while. But other than that, it has been a spot where it feels as though Team Fish Taco has found way too many ways back in.
Yeah, and thoughts as we're getting ready for this one here, Desperex. Do you have any thoughts for both teams? Maybe some motivational speeches, some eyes on, if you will.
No, I give credits to both teams here. They're putting on the best performance they absolutely can to take us all the way to a game 5. I'm happy with either of these teams making it into the NACL because I've liked what I've seen so far. Whether it be Team Tony Top and the memes they're able to produce, or Team Fish Taco and the content.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of promotion relegations. As we said, we won't be saying a hard goodbye to the loser of this series, but man, I'm ready to say hello.
Hey, well, we're about ready to get in the draft. One game remains between both these teams in our upper bracket. One game allows you entrance into the NACL for summer. We'll see what happens, guys. Take it away for game number 5.
Thank you, Mazel. Punch that ticket, Josh. Man, of course we go to a game 5 on the day we're both sick.
Is what it is. I mean, we just know what is coming through. Thank you, Grapes. He's put some
I saw it.
bread in the toaster for me.
It doesn't look right, Josh.
I think it's because
wake up and go post it on Twitter and.
I think it's because the angle of the bread is wrong, right? Like,
how do you make the angle of the bread right in this?
Yeah, the crust needs to be on the top.
You know, I'm gonna leave the rest to the.
I'll do it. I'll do it later. I'll do it later.
You'll do it later. You'll do it later.
For now, we got to get into Game 5 of these two
side
teams.
for Team Fish Taco.
True. And we have seen that Team Tony Top, they did get both of their wins while they were on blue side. Now that they do have side selection again, I would say that I still favor Team Tony Top going into this one. But of course, so much of it actually relies upon this upcoming draft. And we do actually see that it is going to be a return to banning Malphite coming here for Team Tony Top, trying to limit what it is that Alorum can actually play and trying to make sure that Tony Top does have access to the Fiora again, as the Malphite is one of the best counters to the Fiora when Tony Top does play it.
It leaves that Wukong up once again, and yeah, right away, Team Tony Top are happy to take that one. That was played by Dardoch last game, but Wallflower is able to play it throughout this series and does provide a lot of good teamfight presence, both in the mid-game, late game, and early game presence to that. So Wallflower can make that impact to get Team Tony Top going once again. However, Team Fish Taco,
Robbie's
they finally
Victor!
get Robbie's Victor. After all these drafts, they get it in. They're going to take it in the first
After all
phase.
these years, finally found it.
After
We'll see.
10,000 years.
All right, we will see. This has been Robbie Bob's best character throughout the course of his career. While it was definitely dominated by the Galio when he was playing for Evil Geniuses Challengers, the Victor is the thing that has earned him a lot of collegiate trophies, plenty of trophies at various different lands. And here, it's going to be a very similar set of champions coming through, as it is going to be the Jinx Thresh coming out for Levitate and Snow versus the Aphelios and probably the Nautilus again for Daption. Now, Daption did not have a good game 4, but his team was able to pull it off anyway. And so, if Daption can have a bit of a stronger early game here on the Nautilus, it can really help out Team Fish Taco's ability to play through some of these mid-game fights.
I'm just excited for Robert Bobbert to be back on the Victor, be back on something that can, you know, that's something that he's comfortable piloting and has, as you said, had so much success in the past. As you said, again, Daption's going to be on that Nautilus alongside the Aphelios over in the bottom lane. So we have shown our bot lane, we've shown our mid lane over on the side of Team Fish Taco. That will leave some options over for both the jungle and solo lanes for what they want to go over there. We'll have counter pick if they want Alorum to have that.
Yeah. And I definitely feel as though it's something that they really need to focus on, right? They can pick up a jungler here for Dardoch without a whole lot of thought to it, as the Maokai gets banned away and Vi's already been banned away. What else has Dardoch played? He played the Karthus. You could think about doing it here again. Not sure what else Tony Top feels super threatened by. Instead, they are going to be banning away the Scion. So, I mean, that kind of locks out the Gwen, because you want to play the Gwen into the Scion. I'm trying to think of what it is that Team Tony Top are trying to set up for here, unless they're trying to force Alorum onto the Orb. Oh,
The champion's still left. This is a Dardoch special if we get this locked in. You heard it earlier with the halftime show. But still something very aggressive to that regard that can have that early game agency. Dardoch's not going to lock it in. She's going to tease us. Dang you, Dardoch. It's going to be Poppy.
it's going to be the Poppy. Really stifling a lot of the mobility, but there's not a ton of mobility around. It is worth noting that the Steadfast Presence does, in fact, stop
It wasn't banned
the
in phase
Lantern.
2.
Uh-oh. We're not supposed to talk about hovers. I'm still waiting for it, but this is the #1 pick here for Tony Top throughout a lot of his career. His most played is actually Camille, but his Jax, his highest win rate champion across his entire career. And now as the Aziri gets picked up, I think Cho'Gath is still good, but it is not a Tony champ. Give me the Jax instead.
Give me the Jax, man. Tony, it's a game 5. You've seen what Robbie Bob did. He's already gone to the victor. He's already picked that comfort, that tried and true. Give me the signature champions, Tony. Come on. Yes!
Yeah, there we go.
It is a Jax lock-in for Team Tony Top. They'll be playing that over in the top side.
So much of his recent success has been coming off of this champion as well. Even with the changes that it has received, he is still able to showcase a lot of skill on it. And here we go. This might not be the Dardoch Poppy after all, like they were initially implying. I mean, the Jax into the Poppy does kind of struggle, right? But the big thing is the Leap Strike cooldown is a lot shorter than the Steadfast Presence cooldown. But you don't need it to be a short cooldown when you just need it once for the gank in order to prevent Tony from getting out, forcing him to flash to try and leave that circle. And this could be a great opportunity for Team Fish Taco to really shut down Tony Top's Jax. This is the second time they've gone for this switcheroo at the very end. They did really good things in the laning phase with the Urgot into the Gwen. We'll see if they can do the same thing here up against Tony Top's Jax.
And this is an exciting one right now because we're getting all those signature champions coming through. I mean, even with Lee Sin, Dardoch does play the more aggressive route when we did see like the old days of, what was it, like Season 6, Season 7 Dardoch. And if we can see more of that, especially into this early game, I would like to see it more focused around the bottom side, which is where things have been most volatile. This could be the start that Team Fish Taco have been wanting. I do feel like Wallflower has been getting a little bit too much in these last couple of early games, but we are finally here, man. Game number 5. Team Tony Top versus Team Fish Taco. Winner books it into the NACL.
And as they run onto the map, once again, for the last time, their faces written in the stars. God, those two logos, man. I'm surprised you haven't gotten out your hat already.
We're in the best timeline, baby. Oh, where's my hat at? You know what? After the interview, I'll have the hat ready if Team Fish Taco do win.
All right.
If not, I gotta figure out a Tony Top hat.
Tony, just get a mask.
A Tony Top mask?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I got a printer right in production. Wouldn't like hearing the printing sounds during the cast.
That's all right. We do, in fact, interestingly enough, we have both of our AD carries going with Ghost today in order to make sure that they have the most teamfight mobility available. But the lack of cleanse on both sides does create some small opportunities for both sides, but there's so many knockups that oftentimes the cleanse is not as likely to come out. The big thing that it does allow is Snow 2 can actually lock down Red a little bit better when the Death Sentence actually lands.
Reminder, game number 5. So much at stake right here to get into the NACL. All being said, loser is not outright out. It's an important conversation to bring up that they will be facing the winner of Supernova versus The Last Dance. Two teams that haven't exactly been performing at the top echelon here, and does give both of these teams a fighting chance to go ahead and break into the NACL, but you would love it even more if you could just get it over with right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you just don't have to, you don't want to have to play any more games than you have to in order to secure the bag. This is definitely one of those spots where when these teams go down, you start looking at that best of 5 that you have to play on the other side, because you know, this is your first best of 5. You have one more chance after this in order to find their way through. But then you have to, you know, you don't get to relax as much. You don't get to take any kind of break. You have to go right back into grinding. You got to go right back into all of the VOD reviews. And that's a lot more stress. That's less time to go see your family. That's less time to, you know, go to Korea and boot camp potentially for any of these players.
And Josh, it's around the same time that we have CLOL coming up.
True.
There's a lot that these players do have to focus on. It's gonna be a busy season.
Yeah, was it UST playing Toronto that I was hearing?
Not exactly sure. We can have Grapes in the chat to go ahead and confirm that. Just Grapes is our errand boy for today.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy. He lets me call him Andy. I don't know if he likes it, but it doesn't stop me, so.
I didn't know his name was Andy.
His name's Andrew.
Andrew. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. that I've heard. You, like, blew my mind right there, and I already have a headache, Josh. Can't do that.
Uh-oh, it is what it is. But we do see both junglers, they are clearing from the top side towards the bottom side, looking for potential opportunities to fight around this Scuttle Crab, which would be the first time that they've actually really met early on in the in their clears. It looks like Wallflower is done a little bit faster and is going to be pushing Dardoch out and trying to find some vision.
I think he was spotted out right there, and Dardoch will look to engage. A flash forward coming out from Dapshin. Oh, he finds it right onto the marksman. Levitate will have to burn his flash on top of it, but will not go down. Dardoch still waiting in the wings, but both flashes burnt from the bot lane of Team Tony Top.
That's really big here for Team Fish Taco, right? the game that they won, game 1, that was relatively clean, was because they put Levitate and Snow behind, and forcing out this early back will give them an experience disadvantage. They will be down a little bit of money, and they're going to back on a really awkward amount of gold.
Emily, the producer, gave us the update, by the way. They play Butler in round 1.
Yeah. And we are seeing that UST would play Toronto in the round of 16 instead of the round of 32. So very, very reasonable to see some of these teams actually going right on back for a rematch, or at least a lot of these players.
I mean, some of these matchups kind of are rematches to their own regard, not just at the qualifiers, but from all the little other tournaments that go on in the CLL atmosphere. We want to take it out from the CLL atmosphere and break into this pipeline, which is the LCS Challengers League. Yeah. And as we do look at how these teams are taking this final plan in this game number 5 to try and find victory, Dardoch will be finishing the full clear over towards the top side. Wallflower, showing up on the same angle, should be able to wrap around towards his Raptors.
Yeah, and even with the potential lead coming through right off the bat, it doesn't look as though it's going to be as large of a lead as we might have expected, as Red does go for a back at the same time. And they will be able to pick up the coal at the very least, so they will be able to get a little bit extra money that way, but it's not the same kind of flow as we were seeing before. However, one of the big changes that we are seeing is up here, up in the top lane. Tony Top has not been able to find the same kind of advantages up against Alorum as we've seen in so many of their games. The second time they pulled this Trickaroo, the second time that Alorum has had an early game lead in the laning phase. Now, this Poppy into Jax is a good matchup, but we will see how well Alorum can actually maintain this lead throughout the rest of the game.
So far, so good. There's a lot you can really hold on to bait out and try and get the best for Alorum up there.
I've seen this before.
Lane, we're getting a repeat, Josh. Little replay. Let's see if something else changes right here. We don't have as many flashes as we did last time, and Snow is in trouble. First blood will go over to Red. Wallflower showing up too late.
Yeah. Oh, Tony.
Oh, wait, we're not done. Ultimate burnout of Tony. Gonna find one back from Alorum. Flashed away, slammed into the wall by Alorum, but the stun only delays the inevitable, and that inevitability is Tony Top.
Yeah, the solo kill up on the top lane. In the bottom side, Dardoch goes for a repeat gank. Wallflower is there to deal with it, but Snow going down. They focus down the support as well, and it'll result in a dragon he picked up here for Taco, or Team Fish Taco. But Alorum, I mean, he goes for this. He's got to know it's relatively easy to flash that, especially on the low ping. And Tony Top is able to kill that. Oh, there's a fight! There's a fight!
Run from
Sudsy!
it! The power of Tony Top watches you from the heavens. Dardoch forced to run away. The gaze of Tony stares down.
Gosh, I wonder how long they've been waiting to use that one. Probably for Game 5 this entire time, as Tony Top, even with the CS deficit, definitely in a much more dominating position all of a sudden. But this bottom lane, you got to be very careful. Red and Daption, when the Nautilus is behind, it sucks to play. When the Nautilus is ahead, Red gets caught.
Ooh, Red, bad spot to be. He's able to flash out, though, and now it's Levitate, who's on the retreat. One more auto to go through, but Red does not find it. A slither of health.
Oh,
no! Red will get the kill, and that's number 2.
Oh my gosh, another kill. The hero of Game 4, Red coming back once again. 2 kills already. Trying to find their way on in. And we have to remember, Red has almost no competitive experience before they actually joined this team. This has been a huge glow up for this player. They only played for UMass Amherst before they came here to Team Fish Taco. That was basically the same time. They started playing competitive in 2022, and they were only there for a month.
Yeah, we're seeing the starting stages of this player's career, and at the times where the stress is highest, where you need to clutch out the biggest plays you possibly can in a game number 5, here is Red with a 2-0 lead against Levitate, and getting Team Fish Taco to find some success over in this bottom lane, giving them a win condition for the late stages.
In the mid lane as well, Robbie having one of their best laning phases, having a lead here against Sudsy on the Victor. Team Fish Taco feels like they've done all the things right in order to give themselves an opportunity to actually win this best of 5 here in the 5th game. They got a winning matchup for Alorum, and even though Tony Top did end up finding that solo kill, it's a spot where Alorum is not falling behind. You have Dardog going down towards the bottom lane, making sure that Levitate and Snow are playing from behind, and Red, who's feeling good already on this Aphelios, is so much further ahead.
Oh, Levitate. There's sharks in these waters, and Levitate is looking like food right now. Moonlight Vigil comes out from Red. It's a good amount of damage onto Levitate, but with so much threat coming out from Tony Top in both Wallflower and Snow, it's not enough for Taco to go for the dive. Instead, they're going to cash in on plates.
I know a lot of Lee Sins would have taken that Q right there, but Suzy's here to try and stop the play as another Q from Red landing.
So
I think they were point and click.
Suffering, yeah. It's a bad state for Levitate, and he will be forced to take that recall from the pressure applied from Team Fish Taco. And this is going to be plates now for Red and Daption. They'll move forward. They've already gotten one. They'll get a second.
Yeah, trying to find even more here, but Wallflower will be able to clear out all of these minions at the same time at the cost of his own Raptors. So you got to pick and choose what resources to be snagging on the map.
Oh, Alorum! Alorum will get the 1v1 to hell with Tony Top Alorum. I'll own him and take him down.
All right, Alarm getting the counter solo kill. Tony Top on the Jax, trying to find a little bit too much. Ends up going right back on down. All across the map, Team Fish Taco roaring together. They're the one firing on all cylinders at this point, taking down every single member of Team Tony Top already.
Absolutely big. That was the only place that we saw a lead coming out from Team Tony Top. I mean, we got that solo kill coming out from Tony against Alorum, but it gets flipped on its head in the rematch. Now let's see what happens if we ever get to that rubber match of Alorum versus Tony Top. This is the real Creator Clash boxing that we should be watching.
And also with 30 seconds left until the next Dragon, Team Fish Taco already having mythics on multiple members. Crucially, Red already has the mythic completed, is already going to be putting out real damage around this objective.
That Sentence trying to come out from the side. Scary right now because there's a Lee Sin looking to walk over to this brush. Dardock has been hard focusing onto Levitate and Snow and denying them farm, denying them time with the minion wave. And look how much Red is cashing in for it.
Yeah, it's so much extra money. We do see Wallflower at least picking up the Rift Herald. So they're picking something up across the map, but that is 4 plates already grabbed here for Red in particular. So much extra money. He's got to be close to... Yeah, I mean, he probably has this entire team's gold lead by himself.
Let's take a look at the gold in just a moment as the second Drake of the game now under attack. Team Fish Taco will be able to secure it. No one really going to stop them. Just like that. 3K is the lead for Team Fish Taco.
The rest of Team Tony Top feels as though the one hope, the titular character, his face is on their jerseys. His face is in the sky. Tony Top. Yes, that's what we're going to stick with. He's the one who really needs to find some big opportunities, right? He was able to find a lot of split pushing threat in the previous game. Picked up both Nexus turrets by himself over Alarm, and this is a split push that does get so much better over time, right? Eventually, we never really talked about it, but the Trundle was eventually going to outstat check the Fiora by running them down. This is not a situation where that ever turns around. This is not one where Poppy becomes better against Jax as the game goes on. It's only about whether or not they can knock the Jax away with the ultimate.
Now Dardock finally paying some attention over towards this top side. Lots of wards being placed for Tony. Now, as you said, a lot of the prayers are going to lie on the shoulders of Tony Top to bring back this squad from the deficit they found so far. That being said, it's not all doom and gloom just yet. They haven't lost out too much. It's been a lot of small wins coming out from Team Fish Taco. A lot of that gold going on to Red. As you said, he might be the entire gold lead for this squad. So if you can focus down onto Red, takes out so much. You got to remove his DPS, and my goodness, that's
2.5.
2.3k.
Yeah. 2.5. That's not the entire gold lead, but it's definitely most of it. Wow, Robbie Bob's got a small lead as well. He's already cashed out on the Victor Buck. Should have one completion, close to the second one at this point as well. So very, very good stuff coming through for Team Fish Taco. And I've been surprised. Sudsy has gone for this crown. Every time that they've actually played the Azirs, really been liking the extra defenses that it provides, but it's a lot of damage that has been missing from this Azir over the past couple of games, and we will see whether or not they can do something as they go for a dive.
Flash coming out, going to force the flash from Snow. Will throw the death sentence right back, but here comes Dardoch. One more kick to the backside. Will get it with the ward. Hop and find it on 11-Tate with the Dragon's Rage. But here comes the return of fire from Wallflower. Going golden to buy some time. They want to take down Red. Would be a big
money.
juicy shutdown, and is cashed in by Wallflower.
Can they actually get to Daption?
Udaption gets a bit of a slow right there. Sudsy did use his dash, waiting for that cooldown to come through. Able to get it. Another hook found by Daption, but there's the Emperor's Divide. One more kill going to be found by Team Tony Top.
Ooh, no assist there, but Sudsy does pick it up. That is going to be a couple of good kills going right on over to Wallflower. He's done a good job trying to stifle all the aggression that Dardoch has put in here, but this is a fantastic flash kick coming through from Dardoch. Gets the first kill, instantly kicks Levitate back again, but then Wallflower comes through. Is able to pick up the kill onto Dardoch, and then immediately afterwards also grabs the shutdown on Red. That's 800 gold instantly going over. And then Sudsy still to pick up a kill onto Dapture. That's a lot of gold that's gotten picked up by Team Tony Top, but it still feels as though the amount of gold that Levitate doesn't have is still the biggest story of all these fights.
I'm curious to look at the gold of Levitate one more time, because those were two big kills to have, but they were only assists, and you can see it right there. It's about 3k now separating these marksmen. Red having a phenomenal lead thus far, even with that last kill found it on the back end against Levitate. So has so much to his name. The Cephalios is very much online. It's the first 16 minutes of this game, and it bodes well for Team Fish Taco.
Yeah, Team Tony Top seem to have met their match, especially when it comes to most of the objective play. Team Fish Taco have been so much better at it throughout the course of this series. You know, whether it be setups around the objectives, Team Fish Taco have been better at it. Whether or not they can find windows to do it uncontested, Team Fish Taco have been better at it. Using the Rift Herald, when they actually get it, Team Fish Taco have so far been better at it.
I know you
trying to figure out what this circle means.
I know you had a lot of criticism towards the objective setup coming out from Team Tony Top, and I feel like this is going to hurt them even more, considering just the lead we got from Team Fish Taco, the fact that they're the first ones on the map when it comes to these objective setups. It's Team Tony Top really playing from behind.
They're really going to need to look at Wallflower in particular, coming around from off angles to try and make these plays happen. As Dardoch throws his ward down and gets out, but here's the flank.
Oh, here comes Alorum. Finds it on the Tony Top. The top laner is going to do battles. The Death Sentence goes out. Wallflower finds Robbie Bob. Able to get the Cyclone. Doubles up onto it. Robbie Bob's getting low. Has to flash away. Dragon's Rage found. They'll take down Wallflower, but it costs them Daption. Will the fight continue? Team Tony Top still holding positioning on the river.
So Wallflower dead. That's the smite gone, but Team Tony Top, they gotta go.
Oh, Tony's going. He'll find the counter-strike on the Red. Red using the Gale Force, trying to get away from Tony, and Alorum will find the kill on the Tony.
Man, I feel like Tony had the right idea, but the rest of the team wasn't on the same page.
Yeah.
That's definitely a spot where if you get that little bit of extra damage to take down Red, if you can kill Robbie Bob, who teleported, but is already down to half HP yet again, this could be a potentially winning fight, but Wallflower is just now coming out of base, and Team Fish Taco, they have Daption already well on the way.
I did like the idea from Tony, because Red had no sums. Now they're back up, and Red has a flank. Will take down Snow. Overstaying is going to be Team Tony Top. Levitate still getting some pop shots onto Red. Now Teleport going to get channeled through. Looking to join the fray will be Tony. Now fresh off that respawn. Tony might have bought enough time, and yes, they did. They'll get the Drake.
They get the Dragon, but they're still down 4,000 gold because they're getting outfought every single time, Eric. At least now Levitate has a completed item, but they are an entire completed item behind. Look at what Red has at this point. He has already picked up the Bloodthirster and a pickaxe besides. Like, the side lane pressure is going to have to be absolutely massive coming through from Team Tony Top, and most that's going to be on Tony, right? Sudsy will do fine. If you can put Sudsy into Alorum, you'll be good in the side lanes. But if you force Tony Top to be playing into Robbie Bob, unless he's super far ahead, that's a really tough lane to actually split into just because of the amount of wave clear Robbie will actually be able to provide.
You can look at the timers right now. Baron is going to be on the map 4 minutes before we do get a Drake. At the 20-minute mark, it's a 3K lead still for Team Fish Taco, which you do got to give credit over to Team Tony Top. They have been good at stopping this lead at this 3K point and kind of keeping the gold dangling around here. They did just grab that last Drake from earlier, so they're not out of this just yet. They have a lot of scaling potential in both Azir and Jinx.
Well, if we can get there, that'll be a huge boon, but Robbie and Red also are huge scalers. So the big difference in the scaling is honestly going to have to be Tony Top as they just build up over the course of the game. And they are already starting to build a decent lead over Alorum individually, right? Already up close to 1,000 gold. I feel like that could be one of these big opportunities, right? It's got to be about all of the opportunities for Team Tony Top to stretch the map, as a lot of teams have a fondness for saying. Just make sure that you create situations where you have to stretch out your resources, move everybody individually to try and deal with a lot of these fights. But we haven't necessarily seen that from Team Tony Top in this game so far, because Tony doesn't feel strong enough to currently fight Alorum.
And it's giving a lot of control over to Team Fish Taco. This control now being established over into the jungle of Tony Top. Get some control wards over there. Again, Baron is on the map. It's something they got a decent amount of speed with, but I would really want a third item on Red before we get towards that area, or basically just baiting out a lot of these fights that can come through. Alorum over on the defensive side. It's nice to have that steadfast presence alongside this Aphelios, because if Wallflower tries to hop in, can block that right. Same thing with the Leap Strike right there. So protect Red, keep the fight going.
Trying to find more about Red individually, right? I'm looking at his Twitter right now. I want you to guess how many tweets he's made.
2.
Close, actually. The answer is 3. 2 of them are retweets.
Of course.
Well, he did get a new chair recently.
I've seen a lot of these collegiate players, and man, keep up your socials. They really do.
You got a PhD,
when it
man.
comes to this environment. Look at Tony Top now. They are putting down the Rift Herald into the mid lane. Look at a charge out. Won't take down the turret.
Whoa.
Oh, Dabshin. A little bit hungry right here. Me too from Snow, who will put out the death sentence and hooking Dabshin for a kill. Alorum tries to run away. Takes a lot of damage in the process. Robbie Bob, a lot of chip damage coming down through. But now here comes Sudsy trying to find Dardoch. Wants to get the range. Flash coming out of Dardoch. He'll be able to stay alive. 5 strong stands Tony Top as they'll take down Dabshin.
I mean, that'll be some gold going right on back the other direction as Tony Top do pick up Dabshin, looking for anything else, but Snow not able to find it. We were already looking at how strong Jinx is, one of the best characters currently in the entire game. Still, as long as you can take them down, it is going to be so good for Team Fish Taco, but we just got to see what happens when you give them a free reset. They can suddenly take over these fights. They have so much extra movement speed with which to play with. And without the battle lines fully drawn from the rest of Team Fish Taco, it ends up just being a free kill going over. And so as Team Tony Top, they get their resets in, it looks as though Levitate will be on 2 items for this upcoming fight. And Red will be on close to 3. This is going to be an opportunity for Team Tony Top to have more members in position first. We'll see how their objective setup is this time.
For the racing for right now, 20 seconds before that Infernal Drake hits the map. 4 members over towards that side of the map now, all 5. They're kind of sending Tony Top to meet that wave over in the bottom lane. Should be able to catch it. Does give him a flank position if he wants to find this collapse onto Dardoch and Robbie Bob. Dardoch and Robbie Bob going to be quick about getting out from that spot. Dragon alive, waiting for that team fight.
And already, this is a better setup coming out from Team Tony Top than a lot of what we've seen so far. Sudsy in a relatively safe position from Daption over the wall.
Ooh, here it comes, able to find it onto the Thresh. Oh, I thought you were about to tech with the death sentence right there, looking for Wallflower, a stun up against the wall. They're on Tony Top. Tony Top hops away with the leap strike, but the depth charge is on him, forced to use the flash to make more distance, trying to collapse, able to find it. Robbie Bob will get a kill on the Tony. Levitate goes down! Team Fish Taco looking to run this fight. They need to find Sudsy as well. Sudsy trying to create that distance, hops over the wall, but there's nowhere for him to go except for the grave. Triple kill for Robbie Bob.
Robbie Bob coming out big in that last fight. Red flashing forward, Robbie flashing forward. That's another dragon in the bottom lane turret going to be going over to Team Fish Taco. They are so close at this point to actually cementing themselves in the league. Snow, I thought he was going to come back with the death sentence, but time's out before he can get back. And then after that, it's just Tony Top. This is a spot where he cannot be that far forward all on his own. He is not that tanky yet. And Levitate just gets caught.
Levitate caught out. That was the massive pick to come out from Team Fish Taco, because now all you have is Sudsy left to do the damage and no one left to protect him. He will go down as well. Nice little flash from Robbie Bob to put the statement onto that.
And people are starting to remember why Poppy was so good in the jungle for so long. You just knock one person away and say, oh, hey, look at that. We're playing a 5v4. Very cool. All right, let's just go ahead and take the fight. They just go for it. They dogpile onto Tony Top, and Snow too far away to do anything about it. The bottom lane, Red and Daption having a much better game 5 than what we saw in some of our previous games. And now it feels as though Robbie having his best game of the series as well on his best character.
On his best character. I mean, we know the potential.
Somebody buy him a bottle ranch.
Robert can pull off. Please don't get him ranch. Please. Okay, I guess, yeah, if he's going to win.
He likes it.
Celebrate. It's the way he likes it. It's just still cursed to me. Nonetheless, I mean, the UST mid laner is showing up right now. We talked about it a little bit earlier about how he was on EGC last split, was forced to play that facilitator role. Well, now it's the carry role for Robbie Bob, and looking so good at it.
Oh, Snow finds Red.
It's a pick onto Red. Emperor's Divide. So much crowd control on the Red. They're finally able to take him down. Dardoch looking to try and get one right back on the Levitate, but Wallflower Cyclone will deny the final auto.
That's a lot of money getting picked up with that shutdown, and now Levitate, he's got the red buff. He will use that to jungler privilege his way back at full HP as they start up the Baron.
Oh, this could be things slipping for Team Fish Taco. Alorum still in the bottom lane. Call, I definitely agree with this for Team Fish Taco. Concede the Baron, you don't want to lose anything else.
Yeah, we still have a Dragon Soul to fight for in just under 3 minutes at this point. There's so much money getting picked up right there, but we still see that Levitate, even with this last Whisper pickup, half an item behind. Half an item behind where Red currently is. We are still seeing that Robbie Bob, 10 stacks already in the Medjai Soul Stealer, and Sudsy has just an amplifying tome. I remember some of my good friends used to call those struggle books. You never wanted one in your inventory because you would always rather have it be something entirely different.
Not the most AP to pick up, but with that, turret goes down in the mid lane, which is going to open up a lot of vision over to Team Tony Top. On top of that, it's an objective bounty netted over, which gets the gold lead just down to 1K, something Team Tony Top has been struggling with. They finally get an advantage, and it's going to net them a lot right now with this Baron empowered play.
Yeah, and it's Snow who's kind of gotten them here at this point, right? Levitate's been the one with a lot of the flashy plays to do it, but Snow constantly looking for these picks. Wallflower creating so much space, and now Alorum.
Alorum puts up the steadfast presence, waiting for the counter-strike to time out. Not going to allow that position for Tony.
Snow?
But oh, caught out. That's not the place to be for Daption. Tower going to go down. Does Tony Top want to take the fight? Tony posturing up, but they just want the siege as they go for their next tower.
But that's going to be multiple turrets as they get the mid lane structure as well. That's a lot of money. They're now in the lead. Robbie!
Oh, Robbie backing up! That's with the Medjai's on top of it. He'll still be able to get one kill back, but that's a dent towards the AP. Now Team Fish Taco will be able to get one away, but there's still more members looking to fight with you. Wallflower able to put down the Cyclone. Look at Dardoch go. He's able to find it on the Levitate. The Levitate is safe. They'll take him down. Team Tony Top. They're doing it. They're looking to close this one out. And what a play. What a performance. They see Fish Tacos and say, that's not a team. That's the food. And we're damn hungry, man. They punched their tickets to the NACL.
I thought for sure this game was going to be Team Fish Taco, but Levitate and Snow, despite being put in the dirt at the beginning of the game, turn it around. Fantastic play in the second half of that game in order to take that one down. Team Tony Top, face still written in the stars, is now going to be playing in the Challengers League.
Look at that face down there. Look at that. Where am I? Am I over here? Right here? Look at that face. That is in the NACL now. Oh, goodness gracious. It was a performance. It was a 5-game banger, but man, it was a well-deserved win for Team Tony Top. Congratulations to our first new face coming into the NACL. In fact, I want to hear from them. So we're going to throw it over a break. Mazel will catch us on the other side with an interview with Snow.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here with the Verizon post-game interview, and I've got Snow himself here from Team Tony Top with the beautifulest of jerseys you could ever ask for. Also one of the most expensive. Welcome, Team Tony Top, to the NACL, my man. How does it feel to have climbed that mountaintop of the promotion tournament and made it to the promised land?
I mean, to be honest, it feels amazing. They're both OQs. I feel like everywhere I went online, everyone I saw, everywhere was doubting us. So honestly, just to prove everyone wrong and, 2-0 Fly Fam and then take the series off Team Fish Taco, it feels amazing, to be honest. Validation for sure. Yeah.
I could feel the energy. It just feels so good, man. It feels so good. And by the way, first team ever here in our new era of qualifications to make it there. So huge stuff in its own right. History making. But what were you doing before this, Snow? I know Joshi asked you beforehand, but we got to ask that, man, because it feels like you came out of nowhere, but you've had such a strong impact. Yeah,
so before this, I basically hadn't done much in competitive. I played like a few random leagues with people, but hadn't done much. But then in this offseason, some academy coaches sort of got together to try and make a group of people to help improve and quote-unquote make the next generation of players in NA. And it just so happened that me and Joseph were both invited, and then we played a couple games together. Sorry, Joseph is Levitate.
I was gonna say I was gonna follow up afterwards.
Anyway, so me and Levitate we just played a couple games together, and our chemistry was really good. So after that, we just decided, hey, you know what? Like, let's try this out. Let's commit to each other for a split, and haven't looked back since. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and it showed off in this series, man. We were talking about top lane. What was that going to be like? Mid lane? Nah, it was bot lane with the fisticuffs all day long. So I want to go through the journey that was that best of. It was a full 5-game series. Wouldn't have it any other way for a qualification in ACL. But I know it was stressful. So it started off strong for you guys. It was a little bit back and forth. You take that leg up. What was kind of communication in that moment? What was the feels of the team?
So after game 1, we're a bit sad because I think that we're better than them bot lane. And game 1, we picked ourselves a matchup that we can't really do much, like resource scaling. So that wasn't that good because we didn't get to use our advantage. So after game 1, we sort of fixed that. And then game 2 and 3, we picked lanes that we can actually do really well in. And then we did. So after those 2 games, we were feeling really unstoppable. Going to the game 4 draft, we're feeling really good. And after the draft, we thought, we had a really good draft. And game 4 in lane, we did really well. We're getting leads 2v2. Blowing
it looked good until it did.
Yeah, it looked good until it didn't. I guess we got a little too hyped, when you think about, hey, guys, we're in such a good position. If we just do a little bit more, we're in, right? Those nerves get to you a little bit, I guess. Yeah. So we kind of fumbled it, but it's all good. Game 4, the pressure, not game 4. Game 5, the pressure's on, and we clutched up and came back from a bit of a deficit. So. Yeah.
You did. Was there a motivational speech? Was there anything? You guys just said, we got a job to do, get done in game 5? What was it?
Not really. I mean, after game 4, we're like, guys, we kind of messed up,
Yikes, bro.
It's all good. It's like, it happens, I mean, it is what it is. And then game 5, we were down. We're trying to make some plays here and there. And then we're like, guys, the only way to win, just like, let's throw a miracle hook. And in that mid lane, the hook connects on Aphelios. boom, 2 kills, boom, we get the Baron, and the game's over in 5 minutes.
And
So
it's insane,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's actually insane. I love that you talked with us through that series as a whole, but I also want to have you talk a little bit more about Levitate, because both you guys popped the hell off. Let's just speak frankly here about this series and this tournament. So you guys coming out of nowhere, feeling like you guys have the synergy. What's it been like? What's your favorite thing working with Levitate, and how do you feel like you guys have come into your own?
I think the best part about working with Levitate is that me and him are able to be really open and honest with each other, and we're just able to give each other criticism, and no one takes anything personally. You know, he's the GOAT. I'm gonna be honest. Me getting paired with an ADC who's really good at fighting is perfect for me, because my strength is more macro and stuff like that. So, you know, if I can give him the tools to set him up to be in the good fights, and he has the hands to execute them, that's perfect for me. And he has the hands, trust me. As we saw on stage, he has the hands. So it's perfect for me. Yeah.
I love that. Now, I do want to go a little bit more maybe retrospectively, because you are at the end of your promo turn. You've made it. You've gotten to where you were trying to make it towards. This whole team that started off with just chill friends trying to show that you can compete. You guys showed it, right? So do you feel like yourself, personally, you've accomplished the goals you set for yourself this split?
For this split, I mean, the whole goal of this split was to obviously qualify at NACL, right? So I'm happy with this split. But overall, no. I'm not finished. I definitely want to go higher than this. Play in Academy, play in LCS, hopefully. So, you know, for me, this is just the start. You know, this has been my first split on, I guess, well, in Proving Grounds, right?
Yeah.
So on a distant team. So, I think I proved myself a little bit so far, but I still have a lot more to show and a lot more to learn too. So
we'll be here every step of the way. Now, you do have new goals to set for yourself. You got sights on NACL. I know it's maybe a little bit early, but it's a heck of a split to be able to look forward to. So do you guys have any off-the-top thoughts that you want going into getting prepared for your first NACL split?
I mean, honestly, I think I'm just excited. It's going to be the same environment as it was before. You know, I'm sure plenty of people are going to doubt us, and, you know, that's fair. You know, you can think what you want. But hopefully we can get in there and, you know, prove some people wrong and show what we got, and, you know, just keep the journey, keep learning, keep growing, and yeah, I mean.
Gotta challenge the LCS. I gotta stick to the nameplates. Now, I do want to give you one last one. I know I've talked your ear off here, but give some shout outs, man. Give everybody talk about. I know you got your jersey on. Let's make sure you have a chance to kind of speak your mind.
All right, so, well, first and foremost, I want to shout out all my teammates. They're all amazing. Tony, Ethan, Sudsy, and Joseph, you guys are the GOATs. It's been a blast competing with you. And then also our coach, Cheeto. You know, he's the GOAT too.
Yeah, forget him.
winning draft every game, except for the games he doesn't, but we don't. It's all good. Forget those. It's fine. Happens. And, you know, just always having someone at the end of the day to say, hey, guys, like, you know, set us on the right track on how to get better. It's amazing. And then personally, I want to shout out some people that have helped me along the way. So Enzo Nev has been there for me. Always. He's the GOAT. Richard or Draxer, you're the GOAT too. Fawn, Shia, you guys are all amazing. I appreciate all the support, and I couldn't be here without you. So thanks, guys.
Snow, I cannot wait to watch you in the next play. I can't wait to watch the continued improvement, man. We'll be cheering you on every step of the way. Go rest up now and get ready for an enticing split down the line. And go celebrate with the squad, all right?
All right.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Desrex and Joshi as we have crowned our first qualifier team making it into the NACL. What a day it is, Desrex.
Yeah, what a day indeed. I'm still watching on Twitter right now some of the replays of Tony's face being scrolled right after his solo kill. Is that not the most perfect scene possible, man?
It is, you know, written script, it feels like, just working out in its own way. But
all pat to LCS, by the way.
Yeah, you know. Joshi, the way it happened, the scrappiness, you got to hear a little bit from the bot lane perspective a little bit, but I feel like that was a very, very strong point today, at least for both teams, but specifically for Levitate and Snow.
Yeah, I definitely felt as though for a couple of players that we basically hadn't heard of before they actually came here, this is a huge opportunity for both of them to showcase that there is more talent that is still available here in the North American ecosystem that we just need to take some time to actually develop. So congratulations to Levitate and Snow in particular for this huge win for them to actually find their way towards the Challengers League, joining AOE as the only other team to do it and the first brand new team to be promoted.
Yep, exactly that. Let's go ahead and bring the bracket up here. See our journey to this mountaintop that we found. That's our nice theme for the day. It is AOE and Team Tony. Man, that beautiful face every time. It is those two teams making it into the NACL. We still have 2 spots on the line. We have some tough competition ahead of us, Desrex.
Oh, yeah. You know, I echo the same thing I said at the start of the day. There's still a very real chance that we have 3 new faces in the NACL. Looking at Supernova Last Dance, you know, both of those teams have been struggling as things go. You know, Supernova last seed, Last Dance literally the last seed when it came to the provisional teams coming through. FlyFam and TL first have not been looking exactly that good. Maryville did just finish a 5-game slugfest with AoE, so I'm excited for what this weekend has to offer, and you know, I still stand by that. I think we might have 2 more new teams, baby.
Yeah.
Josie, any thoughts on the bracket as we're closing things out here?
I mean, I think the wildest thing is that it's very likely that neither FlyFam nor Team Liquid First actually find their way back into the LCS Challengers League, because I think a lot of us, well, one of them is not going to, one of them might have a chance, but they have to beat Maryville, right? That's the big thing, is that we're probably not going to get either of them back based on the strength that Maryville has actually shown us. And I think a lot of us were fairly confident that both these teams were likely to find their way back into the Challengers League next split. So that's a huge shakeup for a lot of us as we start looking towards the end of this promotion tournament.
Yeah, that's the craziest part.
It'd be very, very cool. I know that would get you a little bit hyped up there to see MU joining us.
It would be oh so hype, man. The squad is in my blood, it feels like, this point. But I just want to say, Desert Yoshi, I know you guys were feeling sick today. Y'all absolutely killed it. It's been a pleasure to be on this desk with you guys. This is actually my last thing for spring, so it's been a pleasure to be watching all these stories. I can't wait to be a fan for the rest of this and see our 2 new teams that join NACL. But for that, it is it for our day of promo. Our best of 5 is over. Team Tony Top will be joining the ranks of our LCS Challengers League, and we're going to be going to raid Whippo. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow, though, because we do have some more games on the docket, and we'll see you there, and we'll see you on Summoner's Rift.